Telecare is enabling many older people to stay in their own homes for longer. Roberta cares for her mother Anne, who has Alzheimer's and lives alone. The family faced a challenging time when Anne began to wander outside at night.
My mother has always been adamant that she wants to stay in her own home, and as a family we have agreed that we will do anything we can to be able to do that.
Here we go. Have you had anything much today?
However, when she was occasionally going out at night, it was a terrible worry because she was getting less able on her feet.
That's it. Is that better? Do you want the other one up or just the one? Fine. Yeah, it's certainly looking quite swollen today.
So if she tripped and fell, you know, and maybe if somebody hadn't seen her, and we did have one night in particular where somebody had phoned the police and they lifted her and she ended up in hospital overnight because she was unable to tell them where she was from. So all that kind of came and we were beginning to wonder whether we were hurtling towards full-time care. So the Telecare thing was a godsend to us when that came.
Now a sensor has been installed at Anne's front door, programmed to raise the alert if she opens it after 9 o'clock in the evening.
If my mother opens the door between 9 o'clock at night and 8 o'clock in the morning, it activates this sensor. But if she opens it, closes it and goes back into the house, then it doesn't set the alarm off. It's only if she actually left and went out the door that it would set off and that it would call up and somebody would check that she was okay.
Staff at the monitoring centre will communicate with Anne through the Telecare control unit and can often settle her without having to call Roberta.
When we first got that, I thought they'll just phone me when she opens the door. But it hasn't been like that. They've built that relationship with her so that 9 times out of 10 they'll talk her out of whatever is in her head that night that she's thinking she's going out. They'll maybe talk about the weather to her, they'll maybe make sure she knows the time of day. They'll ask her things like, have you got your coat on? If she's got her coat on, they'll say to her, take your coat off, it's night time, and you know, so things like that. And they tell me they do all that. So that's all been a huge unexpected benefit. I wasn't expecting them to have a kind of relationship with her. There is no doubt in my mind that my mother would not be able to stay in her own home if it wasn't for the Telecare support. I think for me it gives me the peace of mind that I'm doing what she wants me to do. As a family we will do anything we can to keep her in her own home because that is her wish.
Door and movement sensors can also be linked to a web-based service called Just Checking, which is used in some parts of the country to help assess the care needs of people with dementia. Sensors can be placed throughout the home, and when they detect movement, a bar is placed on the chart. This gives a picture of a person's daily routine to help assess what care they need, when they need it, and whether they might be at risk through leaving doors open or wandering. Just Checking is a powerful tool, but it raises important ethical issues.
We only give access to the people who they've given consent for. We do and can give access to family members, nurses, GPs can have access, or care managers, social workers. But the consent part, you know, is vitally important. The person has to give the consent, or a power of attorney has to give consent before we can ever give access to any of that information.
New technology will bring new ethical challenges, but also new possibilities for independent living.
In terms of technology, that's where it's really exciting because it's evolving almost daily. It's very difficult to keep up with, but there's so many good and exciting products out there that we really want to explore. At the moment, we've succeeded in keeping people safer at home, and that's what people want. That's what this generation wants, perhaps. But in the future, what we do need to be looking at is third generation telecare, which is mobile technology, and this will allow people to be out and about more.
With whole cities like Aberdeen now equipped with wireless technology, mobile telecare is already a reality. Vulnerable people can carry a device that allows their movements to be tracked when they are out and about. It might raise an alert if they wander outside a safe area, or pinpoint their exact location if they fall.
That raises eyebrows from an ethical point of view, but many of these people are actually at that stage have other people acting on their behalf who can make that decision for them. It allows a service user to have a life and have the freedom to go out and about and not be institutionalised, yet still have that safety and security that if they fall, we can pinpoint exactly where they are and get help to them.
Quite a few yellow flares as well.
For many people and their carers, Telecare quite simply holds the promise of a better life.
Telecare plays a vital role for our family. It has made a massive difference, and this kind of technology is out there to be used, and it's designed to help people live better lives, and that's vitally important, because the easier we can make life for people with disabilities and their carers, the better quality of life they're going to have, the longer the carer is going to be able to actually do the caring role. And my message is, you know, if you're in our kind of situation, this is the kind of real support that you can get access to. It's a lifeline to normality. What can you say? It's certainly wouldn't be without it.